Once upon a time, in a small village nestled amidst lush green fields, there lived a young and curious boy named Siddhartha. He was known for his compassionate heart and thirst for knowledge. Siddhartha's father was a prominent and wealthy merchant, and he had everything a young boy could desire, but he felt a deep sense of emptiness within him. As Siddhartha grew older, his longing for answers to life's profound questions intensified. He would often sit under the shade of a Bodhi tree, contemplating the purpose of existence and the nature of human suffering. One day, he made a life-changing decision to renounce his luxurious lifestyle and become a wandering monk in search of ultimate truth and enlightenment. Leaving his family and all worldly possessions behind, Siddhartha embarked on his spiritual journey. He wandered from village to village, seeking wisdom from renowned teachers and studying various religious scriptures. However, he still felt a void in his understanding and sought a path that transcended mere knowledge. One day, as Siddhartha walked through a dense forest, he encountered a group of ascetics who were practicing extreme self-mortification. They believed that inflicting pain upon themselves would lead to liberation from suffering. Siddhartha decided to join them, thinking that such a severe practice might provide him with the answers he sought. For several months, Siddhartha subjected himself to severe austerity, fasting for days on end and enduring excruciating pain. However, instead of attaining enlightenment, he grew weaker and more feeble. Realizing that this extreme path was not the way, Siddhartha abandoned the ascetics and sought a middle path between self-indulgence and self-mortification. Siddhartha continued his wandering, eventually arriving at a serene riverbank. Exhausted and weak, he decided to rest there and meditate under a sacred Bodhi tree. As he sat in deep contemplation, his mind gradually became still and serene. Suddenly, he experienced a profound realization that would forever change his life. Under the Bodhi tree, Siddhartha attained enlightenment and became the Buddha, the awakened one. He comprehended the Four Noble Truths, the truth of suffering, the truth of the cause of suffering, the truth of the cessation of suffering, and the truth of the path leading to the cessation of suffering. The Buddha spent the rest of his life teaching and sharing his newfound wisdom with all who sought enlightenment. People from all walks of life flocked to hear his teachings, known as the Dharma. The Buddha emphasized the importance of the middle way, which advocated for balance and moderation in all aspects of life. One day, a wealthy merchant approached the Buddha with a request. He said, "O wise one, I have followed your teachings and have found inner peace and contentment. But now, I face a dilemma. I have acquired great wealth, and I am torn between enjoying the pleasures it affords and renouncing it to lead a simpler life. What should I do?" The Buddha smiled compassionately and replied, "Dear merchant, it is not the possession of wealth that causes suffering but the attachment to it. True happiness lies not in the accumulation of material possessions, but in cultivating a generous and compassionate heart. Share your wealth with those in need and use it for the betterment of society. Find joy in your actions and detach yourself from the outcome. This way, you will discover true contentment." Deeply moved by the Buddha's words, the merchant decided to follow his advice. He dedicated a portion of his wealth to establish schools, hospitals, and shelters for the less fortunate. As he witnessed the positive impact of his actions, he experienced a sense of fulfillment that he had never felt before. The merchant's transformation inspired others,